Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Emily Reads. Today I'm coming to you from a different location. It is a cold and dreary and wet Friday late afternoon, or not Friday, haha, Thursday. I'm wishing it were Friday. It's a Thursday afternoon here in Central Illinois, and where I typically film is in a corner of my living room next to one of my bookcases. There's no light there, and so it works great for filming it during the day when the sun is shining, but on a dreary, dark, gloomy day, it does not work out too well. So I am coming to you from my office. Right behind me is a puzzle of children's books that I put together years ago and then glued and framed it, and it's in a glass frame, so I'm trying to manage a glare, so hopefully it won't be too bad. So I apologize. That being said, here is November's TBR list. It's kind of ambitious. I've got 5 pretty chunky books on it, and I thought one of the books I probably won't finish, but I want to get a good start on. I do have a 5-day weekend in November because of Thanksgiving. As a teacher, I get Wednesday off before Thanksgiving. I've never had the Wednesday off before Thanksgiving. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm hoping that that will give me some time to read a little bit more. Right now I don't know what my plans are. Last year I did not host Thanksgiving. I typically do. Because of the pandemic and because people weren't vaccinated and because I'm in 4 high-risk groups and I worked with a lot of high-risk people in a residential setting, I did not celebrate Thanksgiving with family. In fact, I was scheduled to work on Thanksgiving. So this year I have time and I might host Thanksgiving. I'm really hoping I can. But either way, I will have a nice relaxing Thanksgiving with more time to read, so hence the slightly more ambitious TBR. I've also read a lot this month, so I realized maybe I could meet this TBR. We'll see. At any rate, let's dive into the TBR. And my TBRs can also be fluid. I might add books, I might take books out. It depends on the mood. I struggle sometimes with depression and anxiety, and I work as a teacher. I work with I'm a special education teacher, and I work with students who experience a high amount of trauma in their lives. So sometimes I come home and I'm just drained, and so sometimes I look at my book and I'm like, this is not what I'm in the mood for right now. This is not what I need, because some of what I'm reading is kind of heavy, and so I need to ditch what I'm reading and pick up something light. So that being said, sometimes my wrap-ups will have books on there that weren't originally on my TBR, or I might have a book on my TBR that I just didn't read that month because it ended up not being I ended up not being in the mood for that book. So bear that in mind. But here's what I currently have planned. I for sure know that I'm going to read Fool's Errand. I'm so excited to read this book. I'm so excited to read Robin Hobb. Again, I have been working on reading a book of hers a month. I finished Ship of Destiny at the beginning of the month, and I so wanted to start this up again. And I was like, nope, you have to wait. I'm trying to savor the experience of her. But this is the first book in the Tawny Man trilogy, and it is the 3rd trilogy in the Realm of the Elderling series. And in this trilogy, we go back to Fitz and Night Eyes, and this is years later, years after the events in the Farseer trilogy. And now Prince Dutiful is now grown up, and he is planning to get married to a woman from the Out Islanders, and this is supposed to unite the 6 duchies and the Out Islanders. Well, Prince Dutiful goes missing. And so the Fool comes and says, okay, Fitz, you need to help find Prince Dutiful, because we need to make sure that this marriage happens so that way we can have peace between the Out Islanders and Six Duchies. So I'm excited to pick this up again because Robin Hobb does a great job with character development. Something I'm going to say in my October wrap up when I film that is she knows how to draw a villain. Like, I really liked one of her villains in the Live Ship Trader series. And so she does a great job developing characters, and even like her characters that are the heroes of the story. What I so appreciate about her is that she makes them so human. Like, they're not, I have it all together, I am the hero, I will conquer everything. They are very human, they make mistakes, and they have to live with the consequences of their mistakes. And sometimes those consequences can be devastating. So that's what I appreciate about her. So I'm looking forward to diving back into the realm of the Elderlings and reading more Robin Hobb. The next book I'm going to read, I originally was not going to read this until next year, but I'm going to read Mistborn, which is also known as The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. I don't know why it just says Mistborn. This is the American publication. If you look at the books from the United Kingdom, their covers are so much prettier, and I didn't realize that when I started buying this trilogy. And I'm the kind of person that, like, once I start buying a set, I want to have it in the same kind of publication look. So, oh well. But the reason why I'm going to pick this up is that Sarah Reads on her channel, who I subscribe to and like watching, which if you don't subscribe to her, you should. She puts out some just really intelligent content. She did a set of 2 videos on like fantasy from like the 1920s to current, like, and what was published and what was like the best fantasy book of each decade. So intelligently done. But she announced in one of her November TBR's videos that she's going to start read along on her Discord channel, and this will start in the second week of November. So that's why I decided to put this on my TBR, because I have not read anything by Brandon Sanderson. I've heard so many good things about him. I want to delve into the realm of the Cosmere, and I know that this is one of the starting points that you can have with him. I know another starting point is Elantris or Warbreaker with him. But this premise is that 1,000 years ago, during a battle of good and evil, evil won, not good. And so now the world has been living under this evil regime for 1,000 years, and now another hero is going to come along, and will that hero win the battle against evil? My guess is that they probably will. I don't know. I haven't read it. But I'm looking forward to reading this. I really want to read Stormlight Archives and look into, I know he has a character in there that battles depression and mental illness. So I can't wait to pick that up to see how he develops that. But I know that I need to read other books first before I can start the Stormlight Archive. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Another book that I want to read, this is just in no particular order of when I'm going to read things after those 2 books. I don't know what order I'm going to read the next books. Another book that I want to read this month, at least start it, if not finish it, is The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. I have never read the Wheel of Time series. I know it's a mass market paperback. I really wanted the old school, like, cheesy covers, but I can't find them anywhere. So, whatever. I found book 3 and book 8 and book 10 used at book sales, but I can't find book 1. So I bought this in Barnes & Noble, and I bought it cheap. Because there's 14 books in the series, and I need to be cheap, and I know it'll get beat up. I'm okay with that. But I want to read this because the TV series is coming out on Amazon Prime. I saw the trailer. It looks phenomenal. It looks just fantastic. So I want to read this. I would love to read it before the series starts on Amazon Prime. I know that that's probably not going to happen. Um, so I know then I'm probably going to have to hold off on watching the series until I finish this, which might be okay. I'm a teacher. I can watch it over a winter break if push comes to shove. So, Wheel of Time, Eye of the World. Good to read it. Then the next couple of books are books that are going to be on my Pop Sugar Reading Challenge. And I know a while ago I posted a video of like, here's my TBR probably for the rest of the year, and I had different books for different categories. My TBR is quite fluid, like I said, as I discover different things that fit in with that category. So I've taken some things off and switched things out. So the next book I plan on reading this month is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Sorry, I said. And this just is an Afro. This fits the Afro futurist prompt. I don't know too much about it, other than it seems like it's fantasy. There's magic involved. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I tried reading it a while ago. I read maybe like a chapter or two, and I was like, I'm not in the mood for this. So I'm hoping I can get into it. I have a lot of fantasy on this TBR this month. But I have 5 books left in the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge, and so I'm trying to get 2 done this month. So this is the first of 2 this month. And then the last book on my TBR for November is The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. And this will fulfill the genre hybrid prompt. And basically this is just the little quick blurb says, my real name no one remembers. The truth about that summer no one else knows. So it sounds like there is a mystery from the summer of 1862. A bunch of artists get together at Birchwood Manor. And at the end of their stay, one woman has been shot dead, another has disappeared, a priceless heirloom is missing, and Edward Radcliffe's life is in ruins. And then 150 years later, an archivist in London discovers like a satchel that has 2 seemingly unrelated items: a sepia photograph of a beautiful woman in Victorian clothing and an artist's sketchbook containing the drawing of a twin-gabled house on the bend of a river. So why does Birchwood Manor feel so familiar to Eloise? And who is the mysterious, unidentified woman in the photograph? So it sounds like it's a mystery, and we go back and forth between past and present. When I discovered that this was a genre hybrid, I took The Passage by Justin Cronin off of my TBR. I still want to read that book, but I took it off because this is a Book of the Month book, and fingers crossed, if I can read, like, I think it's 4 or 5 more books of Book of the Months, if I can read that many before the end of the year, then I win this. I met a 2021 challenge for Book of the Month as well, and I'll get a pair of socks from them. So that's why I flipped that out. I am looking forward to reading this. We'll see if I like it. I've heard some mixed reviews, but the cover looks super cool. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I am right now. So that, at any rate, that is my November TBR. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much, everyone.